Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of CSGO News. I am back in my apartment for college you guys may recognize from 3 months ago. As always, let's get right into it. And very first off in today's CSGO News, we had a couple of roster changes this past weekend, starting off with OpTic Gaming, their pickup of former CLG member Targ, as many of you guys know, which came to a little bit of a surprise as to how quick his turnaround really was. I mean, it seemed just a month ago he was really missing home, and now just 1 month later, he's already moved into the new OpTic CS house and a part of their new roster, as he'll be replacing Stanislaw, who you really have to feel bad for in this kind of situation, as he came out in a statement on Twitter, actually longer. He also mentioned that he learned of his kick from OpTic, not from OpTic themselves, but from someone outside the team, and was not really given a heads up and being told that he was off the roster. Now, as we get into the start of ESL Pro League, also Starlighter Invitational League, a lot of tournaments, there's really no downtime until this New Year's. It's really be a tough time, as Stanis mentioned in his own words, it'll be a tough time to find a good team, so you really have to feel bad for the lack of profession when it came to OpTic and kicking Stanislaw, if what he said is actually true, but they have picked up former CLG Tark, and he is now in OpTic. And we also had roster changes come for Team Kinguin, as many of you guys remember their original 4-man roster that's been together for quite some time. One of those underrated rosters that's been together for a long time, as that 4-man part that you guys can see on screen right now. They were formerly Lounge Gaming, then Dobrin Gaming, and eventually were bought out by Kinguin back in June for a large sum of money by them. And now, nearly after 2 years together, the team has decided to make some changes, as they've gone ahead and dropped both Innocent and Manise from their active roster to be replaced by Rollin, a former player of theirs actually who played back with this 4-man roster back in 2014, and also a former AGG member known as Furlan. So honestly, this roster could be feared. As many of you guys probably don't remember, I was in this apartment back in May when I reported on this original story. It was during the SLI League, actually, versus Na'Vi in a best-of-3 series, that this original roster as well took down Na'Vi in a best-of-3 series. They were back then Dobrin Gaming, now they are obviously Team Kinguin with that same roster, and now with these improvements, obviously adding Furlan and as well as Rollin, it could be even a better lineup. So honestly, something to look out for, guys, is this new Kinguin lineup. And we also have some special leak news for all of you guys watching CSGO News today, as an esports organization known as Denial will apparently be acquiring a CSGO roster for their org sometime very soon in the future, as said by inside sources to us at CSGO News here. Now, who will be on the team is an even bigger question for any North American CSGO fans out there. Apparently, this roster will allegedly be composed of 3 former WinterFox players. Now, as you guys know, a couple weeks ago, WinterFox got rid of that whole entire lineup. We had XP3 of former WinterFox tweet out this, and we can only assume as of right now, those 3 former WinterFox players will be XP3 himself, Anger, and Flowsick, who made sure to mention just a week ago they would be sticking together as a 3-person team. Now, another member for the Denial's new roster is apparently an ex-Orbit player. Now, as you guys may have known, Orbit actually got rid of this roster a long time ago. Now that ex-Orbit roster went back to the original name as Mortal Kombat. Our best guess as to who that member would be is a guy by the name of Punisher. He currently is a stand-in position for that ex-Orbit roster. I can't imagine anyone would actually leave Team Mortal Kombat. They seem to be pretty close buddies over there. So our best guess for that 4th member of this new Denial roster will be Punisher. But as of right now, guys, we have no idea who that 5th member will be. And as of right now as well, we don't know when they're going to release this information. So thank you to our inside source. This apparently will be the newest North American acquirement for a CSGO team that has some potential. As many of you guys know, that WinterFox roster was struggling quite a bit, but it will be the newest North American lineup when it's announced. And really quick, for anyone who did not know, yesterday was officially the 4-year anniversary of the initial launch of CSGO, that is Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which many of you guys are also currently wondering how many more years will pass before Valve releases another Counter-Strike. Now, if we look at history doesn't mean too much, especially with gaming companies. You know, they can release games whenever they feel like it, but there was an 8-year gap between the original 1.6, that is Counter-Strike Source, and now what we have is, which is Global Offensive. Obviously, many of you guys know. So back in 2004 was when originally 1.6 came out. Then in 2012, obviously yesterday, 2012, was when CSGO was officially launched. So that's an 8-year span. We can hopefully assume, though, as of right now, guys, that CSGO has at least, half of its life left. That's what we can assume. A lot of videos coming out recently saying, oh my gosh, the skin market's crashing. What's going to happen if we have a new CSGO launched? I think we do have at least a couple years. That's my own opinion on that. But yes, yesterday was the official anniversary of CSGO, guys. So hopefully CSGO's lifespan is only half over. And in very surprising news today, which was actually hinted at 2 days ago, has now been confirmed, and that's Fnatic has chosen their final coach, who will be Jumpy. Now, for their previous coach, as many of you guys know, Vugo will be removed. He'll become the team's manager and analyst, so he will stay on the Fnatic roster as that managing role. But Jumpy, their new coach, actually a previous coach for both Lemon Dogs and Escape Gaming, really a bold choice here, because as many of you guys know, because of the new coaching role updates which happened just last week, Fnatic is one of the few teams, if the only team as of right now, announcing to hire a new coach. A very daring decision here. Really everyone unsure as of right now why Fnatic has made this move, especially in the wake of these new coaching role updates. I don't know what they saw in Jumpy or what he can actually do during warm-ups, timeouts, or halftime, that being a limited decision he actually has with these guys to make these choices. But a very bold move here by Fnatic, the only team as of right now to actually hire a new coach, especially in these last week and a half after the coaching role updates. Very finally, in today's CSGO News, guys, another rumor that was circulating quite some time ago about a hint has actually been confirmed. That hint actually revolves revolved around Mousesports and their new roster change, and this has been confirmed today. They will be replacing current player Next with Oscar. Now, if you guys are unsure which Oscar this is, it's actually former Hellraisers Oscar who was on that lineup. He was on the Hellraisers roster for quite some time, listed as inactive due to contract formalities. It was hinted that he had signed 2 contracts at once, one with Hellraisers and of course his expected team, which would be Mousesports, but he is now officially with Mousesports, and that's the team he'll be joining. As always, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of CSGO News. It's extremely weird to be back in this apartment. I know I changed clothes halfway through the video because in between this video and all the clips I gathered for today, I actually went to class, came back, did a workout, came back, so it's really spread out throughout the day. It's going to take me a couple days to get my schedule set. I will actually be planning on coming back to streaming for all of you guys. Now, all of you know I'm not really a high rank. I really suck at this game. I'm going to try and stream it though and be more entertaining for all of you because some of you guys don't like my videos. Some of you guys like my live streams. Some of you guys don't like CSGO News. You like my funny name tags videos. So I need to settle down here and actually figure out, what videos to make on what days and really just set my schedule around my classes. So once I have that figured out, once I get settled down, I'll hopefully be having more uploads and better uploads as well, higher quality than today's video was. As always, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I don't even remember my out. As always, guys, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I'll see you guys all tomorrow in the CSGO News episode. Remember, I like you. Goodbye.